Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our continuing series on Christmas-themed games that I'd love to play during the holiday season. And today we're taking a look at Sam & Max Season 2, Episode 1, Ice Station Santa. If you're not familiar with the Sam & Max series, they're all awesome adventure games that have really great dialogue and some fun puzzles like classic adventure games used to have. But before we get too far involved, if you could do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It's all I want for Christmas this year. But getting right into the game, basically, Max here, our little bunny friend, is a sociopath who's become president, and he thinks that his goldfish, the vice president, is trying to run a coup to take over power. And you'll see very quickly what's actually going on, but right off the top you can tell that this game has a really funny sense of humor, and it's really charming. And considering that this episode revolves all around what's wrong with Santa, it's really great to play at the holiday season, and it's just great to play in general. But I grew up playing adventure games, and I absolutely love them, and the entire Sam & Max series, Season 1, 2, and 3, and a new VR game coming soon apparently, are all incredible. Now, granted, you are jumping in at the basic middle of the three seasons, but you don't need to have played the original episodes to really understand what's going on in this one. They're all self-contained stories, but if you do play some of them before this, you're definitely going to get a little bit more enjoyment out of it. But like I said, if you want to just jump in and play this one during Christmas, you totally can. You won't know a lot of the background for some of the characters, but you really didn't need to know that much. But just starting off right here, we have this giant Mametron 9000 bot, and old Bosco pops out. He's a character in the first two seasons that's absolutely hilarious. So you should definitely try to play the games before you play this if you can. But like I said, it sits as a one-off experience you can definitely appreciate at Christmas. And it's your classic adventure game formula. You're going to have dialogue trees that give you different options, and some of the puzzles to progress are going to be solved through dialogue. And then you're going to have a traditional point-and-click interface. It works really well with the Wii remote. I mean, it's better with the mouse, but it's definitely going to do you okay. And you're able to solve different environmental puzzles by using combinations of items on other areas in the screen. And in classic adventure game fashion, some of the items you use and how you use them make absolutely no sense, but it's kind of hilarious how they actually go together. But right here, we're trying to get the Mr. Ginormous wind-up toy, or the Mametron 9000, to stop attacking our building to continue the story. And if you know anything about robots, they don't like to be contradicted, so we're going to use a little bit of a contradictory phrase to get him into a little bit of a, lack of a better term, boot cycle, so that we're able to power him down. But we're just kind of trying to figure out what's going on, who's trying to kill Sam & Max, and why the Mametron 9000 has been sent against us to kill us. And that's a lot of the charm of these games, is that they're just so weird and so unique. They're not things that you get to experience that often. And quite shortly you'll see why we put this in the Christmas episode. We're just going to pop over here, grab that wind-up key, and we're going to disable the robot. What I'm going to let you do is listen to a little bit of the game. The dialogue is awesome because I want to come back and talk about when we get to Santa. So just enjoy this little bit right here, and I'll be back in a second and tell you why this is a great game to play during the Christmas holiday. But enjoy.
I hope he didn't fall on anybody important.
We'd better hurry down if we want to loot the body for spare parts.
I call dibs on any delicious candy that might spill from his demolished innards. I have a question, Sam. How do you like me now, spatula?
I'll ignore that question, Max. In order to say, look, holy knuckle-cracking Kringles on a bullet train with a sack full of ketchup-covered cheese logs.
It does not say that.
We were wrong about Mr. Spatula all along.
What do you mean, we?
This hitman wasn't sent by some lowly goldfish. It was sent from a bleak and desolate wasteland by the most ancient and powerful opponent we've ever faced. A hairy, bloated, pagan god. Santa Claus!
Santa Claus sent the Mametron 9000 to kill Sam & Max, and now we need to head to the North Pole to figure out why exactly that jolly old fellow would do something like this. Although it's not that out of the ordinary for Santa Claus to be evil. He's evil in Futurama, he's evil in Sam & Max. Santa Claus and Krampus can sometimes just end up going completely evil on everybody and trying to kill, maim, and murder them. And that's just kind of the charm of something like this. It's not your traditional Christmas game, even if it exists in a Christmas theme. But now that we're at the North Pole, we're going to get into the real swing of what these games are all about. And all of the episodes in Sam & Max are really awesome. They're fun to play, the puzzles are great, but I really love the dialogue between Sam and Max. These are two amazingly developed characters, Sam being kind of the straight man detective, and Max being the wild man, out for blood, lusting for vengeance, bunny. And that's a sentence I never expected to say on the channel, but these two characters have been around forever in games, in comic books, and graphic novels. It's a really iconic duo in gaming, and they do a great job of using all the dialogue here to really cement the story. But these three guys here are the Soda Poppers, and in season one, you basically fight a civil war against them in the West for control of the United States of America, and that's why Max in the story is the president and his goldfish is the vice president. And that's just how absurd these games are. Max here thinks that Christmas should be associated with the sound of gunfire. Now, I don't know how your Christmases go. I hope they don't involve firearms unless they're gifts that don't get fired at Christmas, but that's not what we think of. But the game constantly plays around with what Christmas is supposed to be versus what it actually is in this story. As we go into Santa's workshop here, I do love the art style and the graphics. Granted, we're playing it on the Wii, and this game is quite old, but all the visuals are very cartoony in nature, so it really fits with the overall theme of playing as a dog and bunny detective duo. And even when we come into Santa's workshop here, you've got a giant caterpillar coming out of the wall, and these bald elves with these cartoonishly large ears, even for elves. And I really like how all of the visuals really just kind of create a world of cartoon nature that really fits the series. And then all the audio behind it, all the soundtrack with that kind of saxophone jazz is great. And now we have Santa shooting what looks like an Uzi out of a window in his workshop trying to kill the elves and saying that they're all going to die. That's not what Santa's supposed to do. That's not who he is. But we got to figure out what happened to Santa and what caused him to do this in the game. Because Christmas is going to be ruined if we're not able to solve the puzzle as to what made Santa mad as a hatter, for lack of a better term. He is gone completely insane. What I want to let you do is listen to a little bit more of the dialogue. It's so much fun. And I'll be back and we'll close out Sam and Max. But enjoy this dialogue because it is quite entertaining.
So what do you do here?
I'm supposed to make this tree grow.
How?
By crying. Christmas trees love elf tears.
Heck, who doesn't?
It makes them grow up big and fast. But I'm too darn happy. I'll never be able to cry.
What a shame. It's enough to make you cry.
I wish.
I'll bet we could make you cry.
Thanks. I've been trying to cry, but I'm just too darn happy.
We can fix that. In fact, that's about the only thing we can fix.
If you want to make me cry, go ahead.
We want to! We want to! Me first!
You don't still believe in Santa Claus, do you?
Sure I do. I saw him this morning.
Well, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Santa isn't real.
He's just make-believe, like the Black Easter Bunny, or elves.
But I'm an elf.
That's what makes this so hard.
Wait a second. Are you saying I don't exist?
Can you prove that you exist?
Well, sure. I mean, no. I guess I can't.
Ouch, tough break.
And that doesn't seem very fun, making an elf cry at Christmas, but we need those tears to make a tree grow outside, because as the game clearly told you, elves' tears make trees grow at an exponentially faster rate than they normally would. And that's just your classic adventure game logic. Why would you need elves' tears to make a tree grow? But that's how adventure games have always been, is most of the solutions don't make any logical sense. Even though they're hilarious and within the context of the game, they make perfect sense. Sam here waters that little starfish tree with the elves' tears, and all of a sudden it turns into a gigantic bush that we're able to climb up onto the roof with. Now, I don't understand who invented this puzzle, but that's the fun of these type of games. You just have a giant topiary now that's hanging over by its own weight, and we use an elf's tears to make that grow. And then weirdly, it's got an escalator in it that Max here is going to play around in for a little bit. And that's why I love adventure games. I mean, I grew up playing them, so I'm definitely an impartial audience. I have that bias towards enjoying them, but all of the absurdity of them is what I really love about them, and especially one that exists at Christmas in the story. It's something that you can play during the Christmas holiday and have a really fun laugh at. And my wife and I played these together when they came out, and we absolutely enjoyed them, and that's one of those things. We always play adventure games together, so to have something like this at Christmas is really fun. And clearly Santa is not okay because he's trying to murder everybody around him, but he's definitely a bad shot, so Santa's not going to draw any blood in this scene right here. What we're going to find out is Santa has for some reason, who knows, been possessed by a demon. And now we need to find the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, literally 4 wooden horses, because of course it's Christmas, and we need to exorcise the demon out of Santa. And what more could you ask for in a Christmas-themed game? But that's Sam and Max Season 2, Episode 1, Ice Station Santa. It's an absolutely awesome adventure game. I can't recommend it highly enough. I love the entire Sam and Max franchise because it is quite good fun. But we really appreciate you guys watching. We hope you're having a great holiday season so far. If you do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because it takes a lot of time and energy to make each one of these episodes, even though this one was more fun than the rest because I got to hang out with Max, one of the most hilarious and strangest characters in all of gaming, let alone adventure gaming. But we will be back next Tuesday with another Christmas-themed episode. And if you notice right there, Santa's covered in a ring of salt. And if you know anything about the occult, which I don't know much of just from playing games and watching films, salt rings protect people from demons. Short of that, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys on Friday and Sunday with more videos, and we'll be back on Tuesday with more Christmas stuff. But really hope you're enjoying the month of December, and if you ever played this game before, you love it, leave me a comment below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Hopefully we can get that demon out of Santa. Bye-bye.